Hey, it's Vass here from Aussie RC Playground and welcome to another unboxing. Today we have ourselves a new brand here on the channel. This is the Atrek Tracer Pro. It is a 1/10 scale, two-wheel drive, brushless, ready to run buggy. And I do mean ready to run. This comes with a 2S LiPo battery as well as the charger, and even comes with batteries for the radio transmitter, which is something that you don't get to see every day with ready to run vehicles. Now this does promise to be a really fun buggy to drive. It comes out of the box with a wheelie bar included, believe it or not. You can sort of see it peaking just there. It has a top speed of about 80 plus kilometers an hour, which is, I think is about 50 miles an hour. Now that is with an optional 3S battery, and you do need to install the high-speed pinion, which I believe is included with the kit. I haven't quite checked that yet. Now it is promising to have a very long runtime of about 40 minutes with the included 2S battery. That's a big claim. I mean, most times you'll get, 15, maybe 20 minutes runtime with a decent battery. To have 40 plus minute runtime, that's a really huge claim. But, this is a very light buggy. It's running on a two-wheel drive as well. So it could be very possible. We'll soon see. Brushless LiPo power, everything's included. Of course, it's two-wheel drive, off-road, oil field shocks, steel gears as standard. And you can see the little aluminium caps there on the shocks as well. So let's get rid of that box and let's have a better look at this guy. It does look really, really good. The last time I had a two-wheel drive buggy here on the channel, I think would have been the Armor Raider, I think. And the last time I had a race style buggy like this, it would have been my RC10 B4 Stealth buggy, which I think is from about 20 plus years ago. I did some content with that buggy in the very, very early days of this channel. And I actually ended up giving it away to a guy out in Queensland who was getting into racing, and he had a little bit of a channel going on as well, and I actually shipped it out to him free of charge for him to enjoy. So God knows where that buggy is now, probably in the bin somewhere. But yeah, really good to see something like this in my hands again. It has been a very long time. Now I did miss this one when I was doing the unboxing. It was on the bottom of the buggy, but this is the charger that is included. Again, just a 2S and 3S charger that goes via the balance lead. Very basic stuff, but it will get you going right out of the box. In this little bag here, which I actually need to cut up, and I didn't realize I need to cut this up. Bear with me. Through the magic of editing, I've now cut the bag and we can actually have a look at the contents. For some reason, I thought it was a Ziploc bag. All right, so here we are. We have the 4 AA's that are for the radio transmitter, so that's included. We have some preload spaces for you to do some shock tuning if that's what you want to do. And we also have a little bag of some goodies here. There's that high-speed pinion included. There's a couple of Allen keys in there, some spare body pins, a couple of wheel nuts, and there's also a little tiny little grub screw right on the bottom there if my camera would focus. And we have our cross wrench as well as a little card in there. And I think that's everything that's in that little bag. And then of course the all-important manual, which is actually all colored as well. It's a very nice manual. Gives you all the information on how to load up the batteries for your transmitter, how to install the batteries for your car, how to operate it, turn it on, blah, 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 all that stuff. There's also, looks to be some ESC tuning available here. Does it have BEC voltage? I don't believe it does. No, it doesn't. So you can't really run a high voltage servo in here. And then there's a whole bunch of controls here for the radio, which we'll get into very soon. And there's an exploded view with all the part numbers of everything. So if you do have a mishap and you need to order some parts, there we go. Now I do believe that there are optional upgrade parts for this available as well. So be sure to check out the video description. Hobbies Direct were actually responsible for sending this out, as well as a few other cars from Atrek for me to review. And I'll have links in the video description for you guys to go and check them out and yeah, see all the parts options that are available for these cars. Okay, so kicking things off with the radio. This is actually a really cool looking radio. Very sleek, almost alien-like. And even the batteries load up underneath a little bit sideways. So it actually loads up like that. Now, these are not the batteries that came with the radio. I just put these in here just to test a couple of things out because I did notice that it had a couple of extra buttons on the handle. This channel 3 button, to my knowledge, does absolutely nothing. This one here actually helps you set up high and low speeds, and we'll talk about that in a second. Now, ergonomically, I gotta say the radio actually feels really good in the hand. The trigger's nicely weighted, the handle feels comfortable. The wheel is a foam wrapped wheel with actually some really good springs in it. Feels really, really good. The radio overall, no collapsible antennas or anything like that to break off, which I think is a big plus. It does have a little lid here that you can pop up, and then you've got a bunch of digital controls underneath this. So over here we have our on-off switch, so you can just slide that on and slide that off. We have our reverse switch for our steering just over here. Reverse switch for our throttle over here. Bind button in the middle. As you saw, there's a couple of LED indicator lights. We have our steering trim just here. We have our throttle trim just there. And then we have steering dual rate just here as well. No knobs or anything. Everything seems to be digital. And well, so far it seems to work fine. I mean, digital is okay. I do prefer a knob in some cases, but I think it's fine as it is. Now, as I was saying, this channel 4 button over here actually helps you switch between high and low speeds on this radio, because they don't give you a throttle dual rate per se, but they do give you a high-low speed. So the way that this works is, as it is in default, when you turn it on, you're going to have just a single red LED status light. This is the high speed setting. So this comes out of the factory as it is with maximum speed turned on. If you want to switch to a lower speed, so for beginners, for example, you hold down channel 4, turn the wheel all the way to the left, and then switch on the radio as you're holding down those two positions. And you'll notice that the green LED there will actually flash. That means that you are now in low speed. So even if you turn the radio off and then turn it back on, you will see the green LED flash a couple of times. And that means that you're in low speed setting. To go back to high speed setting, simply just repeat the process. Hold down channel 4, hold all the way to the left, switch it on, and you'll see that the green LED doesn't flash anymore. You are back to high speed setting. So very easy to do. Would have been nice if it was just a toggle switch or something like that, but it's not overly complicated. And yeah, I guess it gives you that feature to run both high and low. And there you go. That's the radio. Hopefully I don't have any range issues or delay issues, and it should work perfectly fine. So moving on to the main event, of course, the first thing we need to do here is take off this plastic covering. That's always a bit of a pleasure in doing that. It's tucked in behind the body pin. Hold on. Got to take the body pin off. Got to make this work. Take that off. And now we can peel this guy all the way off. Oh, that body pin's also pinning it down. Good Lord. All right, let's get rid of that. Get rid of that. And there is our buggy. I'll actually push it out a little bit because yeah, it's filling out the screen a little bit too much. Now, of course, I've taken the body pins off. The body wants to come off. This is a really cool looking body, can I say. Again, I really like the paint that they've gone with here. You can see a bit of a pearl sort of look to it in the orange. Very simple, no fancy graphics on these Atrek cars. And I have to say, I actually appreciate this because, you know, a lot of cars come out with all these fancy colors and graphics and things, and sometimes they look great, sometimes they don't. But to have it just a simple, plain color, and maybe just a couple of color options, that's really all you need. And as long as it's good, you know, the body speaks for itself and the color is as nice as this, I really don't have an issue. So there's our motor mount. There's our wheelie bar, which is, wow, that's a wheelie bar on a buggy, by the way. That is pretty cool. Non-adjustable, just so you know. The wing feels like it's got a lot of give to it, a lot of flex to it. So I think this is actually going to stand up to some abuse, which is going to be nice. And then, of course, we have our plastic shock towers on the front here. We have our plastic shocks, oil filled. We have standard camber links, toe links. Actually, these are the camber links. Those are the toe links. So they're all fixed. There are no adjustments on the A-arms for the shocks, but there is an extra hole here for the shock tower, on the shock tower rather, for you to play around with the suspension geometry a little bit. So there's a tiny bit of adjustment. We have steel dog bones on the back, as you can see there. And yeah, let's have a look at this thing a little bit up close. Let's start from the outside. First of all, I got to say the tires on this actually feel really, really good. I just unboxed the Peak before this one, although you might be seeing this video first. But the Peak had very firm tires, very hard compound rubber. These actually feel really good. I probably wouldn't go as far as bashing this on road, because judging by the rubber compound and the fine pins that these have, you're probably going to chew through these tires rather quickly. And also to do your speed runs, you know, braking and all that, you're gonna destroy these. I mean, asphalt is like sandpaper to soft rubber, and you're gonna go through it fairly quickly. Even the front rubber compound feels really nice, feels really sticky. I'm actually really impressed with the rubber that they've gone with on this one. Full ball bearings, of course. Nice blacked out wheels with a little bit of branding on the walls of the tires, which I think looks really good. Let's check out the suspension. Definitely feels very race ready. Doesn't pull back up as well as I'd like. For a bash vehicle, you probably want to add a couple of those preload spacers, just so that it has a bit more rebound. But if you're going to go and hit like the local track just to do a bit of mucking around, a bit of bashing / racing, then I suppose the suspension setup is actually pretty well dialed in from what I can see. I think there's not a lot that you need to do here. It feels really plush, really nice. But for bashing, you probably want to jack that up a little bit just to give you a bit more ground clearance and also have a bit more rebound when you land those jumps. Taking the body off here, so we can have a bit of a peek inside. The body is pretty standard, has a silver underline there, and as I said, the color on this is just brilliant. I really like the simplicity of it, and it just looks cool. Here is how the buggy is laid out. I know a lot of you will probably be looking at this going, well, it looks like X car or whatever, and that's probably true. There's only so many ways you can do this sort of layout. Yeah, it probably looks familiar to some of you. We have our receiver over here, which is antennaless and actually looks really cool. Actually looks like one of those pro receivers. That looks really nice. We have our servo laying down just over here, and that gives us our steering, as you can probably see there. And then of course we have our ESC just over here with an on and off switch just there. The ESC is programmable to a degree. As you saw in the manual, there are some options. You can play around with punch settings and LiPo detection settings and things like that, although it is set up for automatic, so it should pick up either a 2S or a 3S depending on what you're plugging in. The battery that is included, I just dropped a little paper there, we'll get that in a sec, is a 4000 milliamp 2S 25C. It does come with a Dean's connector. This little thing here is just a caution for handling the LiPo battery. It just gives you some information about, you know, storage, charging, all that sort of stuff. And there we are. There is our buggy with some Velcro straps just across there. Dean's plug. Our motor is a 3650 3300 kV, which I think is actually pretty torquey for a buggy that's two-wheel drive. Normally with something like this, you'd sort of see it closer to like mid to high 3000s, I should say. In some cases, you may even see kV motors over 4000, but they're more race spec motors. I think for general bashing and mucking around, I think this is probably a better option, especially considering that they do give you a high-speed gear as well for you to go a bit crazy with the speed on this guy. So there we have it. Very simple setup. I do notice actually that there is a second adjustment here on the A-arms for the rear shocks. And equally there's a second adjustment on the shock towers as well. Really neat, clean setup. You know, the chassis itself and everything underneath looks very nice. It's interesting that they've got this groove. I almost thought that was like an extra cover or something that you take off, but no, that's pretty much it underneath. I am really keen to see this go. Out of all the cars they've sent me, I have to say, you know, the other ones definitely look a little bit more bash sort of oriented. This one looks almost like it could cross over a little bit, but it just looks like a lot of fun. And I really like the choice in rubber compound with this one. I think they've done a really good job here. The layout for everything looks really clean. The car promises to handle well, going by the suspension and everything. The radio looks really sleek, and it seems to have, you know, all the necessary features for everything. So yeah, really looking forward to running this one. So that's going to wrap it up for yet another unboxing here on the channel. Now, before I go, I do want to give you a quick reminder that this car does come with a 2S LiPo battery included, a 4000 milliamp, but you can purchase a 3S LiPo battery separately to give you that top speed. Now, Hobbies Direct actually supplied this one to me as well, and I was actually quite surprised to see that they're exactly the same size. I can tell you that this 3S is definitely heavier than the 2S version that comes included with the car. So I'll be very curious to see how long these last and how well they perform. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up for this unboxing. A big shout out again to Hobbies Direct for sending this out for review, as well as a lot of the other Atrek cars that they currently have. And be sure to check out the video description down below, where I'll have links in there to everything, so you guys can go and check it out and get a bit more info on them if you want. And of course, pick one up for yourself if you wish. Thank you all very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll be speaking to you all next time.